You ask what you always wanted to know about me, and I answer in my 365 days journal. Hi there, this is HEINZL. Welcome to my channel Junk Journal Art. Nice to see you here today. For today, I have put some of your questions together that are in some kind of a context. So I will not only answer one question today, but some more. And of course, I will also create a page in my 365 days journal today. But for the moment, it has to go to the side because I need the space on my desk here to answer the first question. So Maureen, Uschke, Deb, Bonnie, Tracy, Susan, Melanie, Diana, E.SN, Deanna, Debbie, Shell, Joannies, Journals, and Jeanette wanted to know something about my tattoo. So perhaps you think, oh, I have asked something about the tattoo as well, but my name was not mentioned in this video. I have to excuse for that because it can happen that you ask the question after I have recorded this video. So please feel like I am talking to you as well, and I hope that I can answer your question about this tattoo as well, even if I have not mentioned your name. So please excuse those circumstances. I was a little bit surprised that so many of you wanted to know something about my tattoo, but of course I can explain you what it means and what's the story behind it. So one question was if I can show it in total. So of course I can. I think what you can see here is what you can see while I'm crafting as well. And this goes around my whole arm, so it's not so easy to show you that, but I will try my best to turn my arm around so that you can see everything. Here are some quotes that come from some songs from an Austrian band that's called Die Schützenjäger. So perhaps you know them. I know many people overseas know the band Die Schützenjäger. And this is all from some of their songs. This says, for example, jeden Herzschlag wert. That means something like every heartbeat worth. And I took some of those quotes from the songs that are really, really meaningful for me. And the man in the tattoo studio put that in between of this whole design. So let me try to turn my arm around. It looks a little bit weird, I know, sorry. But when the camera is hanging above my table, it's really hard to show you this whole thing. So here there's a newborn butterfly. I will tell you something about that later. That was my first tattoo, and then the rest came to life. So this was the first one, and then I got this quote here, and then the whole rest. So here I'm showing you some pictures from the time when I was in the tattoo studio and the man there made this tattoo for me. It was really, really hard, but I'm so proud that I have that. So let's start with this newborn butterfly. As I said, that was the first tattoo that I got, and this butterfly is not an adult butterfly, but a newborn butterfly, because I wanted to freeze this stage of the butterfly. It was a really strange time in my life when I decided to get this tattoo. It was after I had a really rough time, a really hard time with some really, really bad people around me. And when this time was over, I felt like this newborn butterfly. I was like, I can fly where I want. I have a new life now. I can do what I want and I can reach every goal that I have in my life. When I got that tattoo, I was a preschool teacher. So in my past life, I worked in a preschool as a teacher. And some of my colleagues had a really personal friendship to me. And they knew much about my private life. So when they saw my tattoo, they said, oh, that's because you have lost your baby. So I was pregnant a few weeks before I got the tattoo, and they thought I made this to remind me of this baby that I had lost. But as you can see, this is a butterfly. I mean, a baby in your belly looks way different, but they had this emotion and they wanted to help me, and they, yeah, were like, oh, you have a bad situation, we want to help you. And so they made this interpretation that this is, yeah, my lost baby. Since they said that to me, this tattoo has some kind of a double meaning to me. When I look at it, I'm seeing not only this newborn butterfly, but I also am reminded to my baby that I have lost. In the meantime, I can talk about that and it's okay for me. And I think God has decided that this baby has no good place in this world. With all those circumstances that were in my past life, I can handle that really good, and I'm some kind of glad that this baby was not born. It's a little bit hard when I say that, I know, but I think it would be, yeah, it would have been a total disaster when this baby would have come to life. Oh my goodness, my grammar. Sorry, you know what I mean. So when I put my arm like this, I can always look into the eyes of this newborn butterfly. And that was really important to me, that he always can look at me. When I have a bad day, I can put my arm to the table like this, and I can look into his eyes, and he tells me, Louise, you can do what you want. You are a free person now, and you have the feeling of this newborn stage. And you can reach every goal that you want. You can, yeah, reach everything that you want in your life. So the second thing that came to my arm was this thing here, Jeden Herzschlag wert. That's also a song of this band, Die Schützenjäger. And that means something like every heartbeat worth. It's a really meaningful song for me. It's connected with some really, really strong memories, really wonderful memories. Many years ago, my parents bought the first tickets for a show of Die Schützenjäger. So we went to this concert, and I immediately fall in love with this kind of music. It was totally cool for me. So this band has changed a little bit. When we started this Schützenjäger adventure, they were with Peter Steinlechner. You can see him here on this picture with me. Louise and Petra. Yeah, really cool memories of this time. And we went there with my parents and my brother. And that also answers the question of Sharon, Tracy, Jane and Gayle. If I have any siblings. Yes, I have a brother. You can see him here. He's called Daniel, or you would say Daniel perhaps. And yeah, one brother. That's the answer. Really simple. And then this band got a new singer, a new front singer. You can see him here. He is called Stevie. But in the meantime, he has also left the band to go for his solo career, what I totally can understand. This time with Stevie as the front singer of this band was not only a memory of music, but also a really big memory of meeting my friends and having a nice time with them. Don't stop me! During this time, when I went to those concerts, I have spent much time in my car to come to those concerts. And sometimes I also had to sleep in my car when no hotel was available, for example. But it was totally worth every kilometer, because I have met so many friends and so many people that I would have never met in my life. And I'm so thankful for this time that I had with this band, Die Schützenjäger. And there are still some friends in my life that I can't meet them in person, but we have still contact with messengers, or we also have some video chats from time to time. So I'm really thankful for those memories and also the people that are still in my life. And some of them also come and visit me here in Austria. For example, my friend Caro, she is coming in a few weeks, and I'm really excited to see her again after such a long time. So I have no children. That answers the question of Betti, Sue and Cam. But this time with this band, for me, was like having a family and having all that things that a family has, if that makes sense. The next question that I would like to answer comes from snarkycard. I'm hoping that I'm saying this name right. If not, I'm so sorry. So snarkycard wants to know if I have a collection of something. I thought about that a little bit, because I thought, when is a collection starting? I mean, if you have, for example, 12 Distress Oxide ink pads, is that a collection? I think she's thinking of something different. So I want to show you two of my collections today. One is this little thing here that I want to show you. And for my second collection, I have to stand up and go away from my desk because I store it somewhere else. So we will go through my room here now. So attention, don't get sick. So I'm trying to hold my camera really quiet so that you can see everything and don't get sick. So this cupboard comes from my grandma. I'm really proud that I have that. And I'm storing my buttons in this little thing here. So this is my collection of buttons. I have sorted them by color, as you can see. And all of these buttons come from the stash of my mother and my grandmother. And I'm really honored to have this collection now, and that I can say it's my collection now. I've also put some other things into these little drawers here. For example, something like this that I can use to make some tassels and dangles for my junk journals. So in this thing there are not only buttons but also here some little tiny things like those you know, beads and that stuff that we all love to make tassels and little embellishments for our junk journals. It's really helpful for me, especially to have those special things like this here, for example, or this little guy here was made by my mother. And it's really helpful for me to have that here where the right color is, I mean, sorted by color, so that I have it in front of my eyes. I think otherwise my ideas would not flow so good. If they were in another place, I think I would have some problems. And here I have everything sorted by color so that I can see it and use it for my things. Yeah, so that was collection number 2. Collection number 1 is this thing here. So I'm back at my desk now, as you can see. And this also has to do with this band, Die Schürzenjäger, that I have talked about before in this video. And in this little journal, I have collected all my tickets for the concerts. So yeah, it is a journal. Because I had lots of tickets and lots of stuff that reminds me to this wonderful time that I had with this band. There's also a tutorial about this journal on my channel. I will link you this video down below so that you can check that out if you also have some loose papers, tickets for example, or these little things that you need for the entrance to such a concert. I made a little tassel out of that, so perhaps you have some loose things as well. Postcards would work, or any other small ticket thingies. So this journal is a little bit older. You will see that in the inside, and you will see that the construction of this journal is not what I'm doing today. But we learn something new every day, and yeah, I think I have to change some things like those paper clips, for example. Today I would probably make a hidden paperclip out of that, but when I made the journal I had no idea what a hidden paperclip is and how to make it, so there are those naked paperclips in this journal. But yeah, I think you can get the idea of this collection and the idea behind this journal. I've not only put the tickets into this journal, but also some bills from the hotels or some hotel informations. Also some things where I wrote down the town where the concert is. And there are also some really old tickets, like this one here, for example. This is from this old Schützenjäger band with Peter Steinlechner, and also this picture there that you can see there, this is me with the man who is playing the saxophone, but from this older version of the band. But I had those pictures, and of course those pictures also are belonging to this memory, so I've put them into this journal as well. So this little tissue packaging there has also a meaning, but it would be absolutely too long to explain that to you. But every piece in this journal is such a strong memory, and sometimes even very funny. For example, this little thing here, it's an information about the hotel that's called HEINZL. The name of the hotel is HEINZL. And I got this information when I checked in this hotel, and they give some really interesting information at the end of this little paper, because here it says the next swinger club, is that an English word? Hopefully, is 150 meters away from the hotel. So I was really struggling with this information, because I mean, yeah, it's an information, but does that belong to such a paper from a hotel? I mean, I don't want to say anything bad against such swinger clubs or those people who go there, but what has this to do with my time in the hotel? I don't know, but this is such a funny memory. And also, yeah, all of the stuff that is in here is so strong for me. Here you can see a picture from me. Yeah, I don't know. I had a time where I had to wear glasses. Now I have those contact lenses. Is that a word? Hopefully. So that I can see anything. And yeah, I look a little bit different today, I think. But these pictures, when I look at them, I'm in this situation. And that's what what makes this collection so special for me, and what makes this journal so special for me. And there are also some things that other people have sent to me. I think I'm just searching here. This is also a picture from this old band. This man who, that you can see here is now again back in the band, but in the meantime he did something different. But here I'm searching for something special. Ah, here it is. So here you can see a postcard that was sent to me by my friend Claudie. She has bought this postcard in Meyerhofen in Austria, and she asked the band if they can put their signatures to this card, and then she has sent this card to me. I was not able to join this concert, and that was so sweet, just such a sweet thing. And I also have a thing here. I have to put this blur on top of it because it has some private information, but this is a memory from a time when I bought a picture that was painted by Alfred Eberharter. You can see him here in the pictures as well. He is also a painter and a really, really great artist. And I bought one of his pictures and took that home. And this was the bill that I got from him and his bank account information. So yeah, a really strong memory. So if you want to watch how I have constructed this journal, then please check out the info box. There's the link with this video where I'm showing you how I made that. As I said, a really old video, but perhaps it's an idea for you if you want to collect some postcards or bring your collected postcards into one place. Then perhaps this is also yeah, a nice video for you, and hopefully it's helpful. Okay, so now I will take my 365 days journal and I will create a page in this journal now. And while I'm creating that, I'm trying to answer some more of your questions. So Mompspink13, Petra, Laurie, Miss Jenko 48, and Sarah wanted to know something about which instruments I play and since when, and if I can sing. They wanted to know something about the CD, some closer informations about this music CD that I've shown you in my last video that I have created with my partner Gary. And there's also a question about a song that is on this CD that is called Wannie Wüst. And you wanted to know if I am playing the saxophone in this song. So I will answer that question as well. And last but not least, I will answer the question why I don't like pink. So these questions seem to be without any context, but wait. I think when I answer this, that makes sense to you why I have put those questions together. So especially the question why I don't like pink may be a little bit strange because on my tattoo there's some pink as well, and you may perhaps wonder why I don't like pink. But let's start with the first question in this row. Which instruments do you play? So while I'm creating this page, I will try to answer to those questions. Which instruments do you play? Yeah, so you know this woman that's called Eva, and there's also, I think you say Eve, and there's this man that who is called Adam. Adam and Eve, they were in the paradise a very long time ago, and there was this tree and this apple and the snake. You know, this story with the snake. So I don't have to go back so far until I meet Adam and Eve in the paradise. But I have to go back very, very far. And that's back to my time in the kindergarten. In the kindergarten, I've started to playing the flute. I think every child in my kindergarten group had to play this instrument, and my parents were like, yeah, learning an instrument, that's nice and that's helpful for your life and that stuff. They always wanted to bring me to play some music and to learn an instrument. So this flute was the first thing that I've learned. And it was a strange situation for me because I took my lessons at the house of the woman who was with me in the kindergarten. I don't know the right English word of this. You know, the woman who is working in the kindergarten and who is with the children in the kindergarten was my teacher. And I had to go to her private house to get those lessons. That was really strange for me, especially because this woman was not so nice to me. I mean, I was really, really shy when I was in the kindergarten. I think I've sit there for hours and, yeah, doing my things. I was not a loud child. And I was also so shy that I hadn't the mood to speak to other children. And that was a special situation for me, of course. And one story I would like to tell you, because that's in my mind when I think about the time when I was playing the flute. So there was a little party in the kindergarten in the time of Carnival. So we are saying Fasching or Carnival. I think you know this word. And every child in my group was allowed to take a costume and go to this party. And the theme of this party was Pippi Langstrumpf. Do you know Pippi Langstrumpf? That's this little girl with this really strange hair on her head. And my mother always was like, she had to create those costumes for us, for my brother and me, by herself. So she was sewing and made all of this stuff with her own hands. And she made a really cool, how is that called? I have the word. I mean wig. She made a really, really cool wig for me that looks exactly like the hair of Pippi Langstrumpf. So, that was cool for me to go to the kindergarten and to have this on my head. But my mother said Pippi Langstrumpf also has some freckles in her face. So my mother thought she would make me some freckles as well. And she unfortunately took a waterproof pen to make those freckles into my face. Yeah, you can imagine what happened next. The next day, of course, this carnival party was over and I had to go in my normal clothes to the kindergarten, but the freckles were still in my face. And I came to my group and I said good morning and that stuff. Yeah, what you do as a child when you go to the kindergarten. And then this woman looked at me and she laughed out so loud because I still had those freckles in my face. It was so embarrassing for me. I think the other children wouldn't have noticed probably that I have those things in my face. But since she had laughed out so loud, every child was looking at me and I was the clown of the day without the costume of a clown. And that was really, really hard for me. And that's always a thing that I remember when I'm thinking about my time in the kindergarten and playing the flute. So, okay, so that was that. Then when I went to the preschool, I started playing the accordion. And that was a thing for me. I think my way of playing instruments had to be like that. There was no other chance than learning to play this accordion because, excuse me, please. My father played the accordion for, I think, nearly his whole life. He always was this kind of man who wants to bring a family party, for example, to the next level. So every time when we had something to celebrate or we had an invitation for another party and we had to go there as a family, he took his accordion there and he tried to make a show, one-man show for the guests on this party. And the most people have enjoyed that, but you know, Sometimes that can be a little bit strange as well. But for me, this instrument was always something that belonged to my family. And yeah, one day I got my own accordion and I also got some lessons. And some years later, when I was able to read the the music sheets and that stuff, and when I was able to play this instrument, I went to an to an accordion orchestra that was located in my town where I lived when I was a child. And that was a hard experience for me, I would say, because I've learned to play when I have those music note paper sheets in front of me. But if someone would take this away, I'm not able to play this instrument anymore. So this situation, perhaps someone has a guitar, someone is singing, and you have your accordion and you can play a melody or something like that that fits to the rest. That is not possible for me. I've learned that only a few years ago to play that kind of accordion music. I don't know if you understand the difference if you are not playing it by yourself, but you can play a melody, of course, you can play in an orchestra, but of course you can also make some improvisation. Is that an English word? Hopefully. Some really fancy stuff on your accordion. And that stuff I've learned only a few years ago when I met my partner Gary, and I had some lessons with him, and he taught me how to do that. When I went to summer holidays with my parents, so we went to one and the same campsite in Italy, nearly 20 years, I think. Every year in the summer break, we went there, and there on this campsite there were some events in the evening. There were some bands that were playing their music, and one day I saw a man who was playing the saxophone, and I was standing in front of this stage where this band was playing with my father, and suddenly my father said, "Oh, the saxophone would also be a really great instrument for you to play." And I was like, "Oh, wow. I mean, if you have played an instrument for a long time and you are familiar with this instrument, as a child, it can get some kind of boring with the time. I think that's normal." And I was like, "Ooh, saxophone? Perhaps that's great for me." So when we were back at home, we went to a music store where they have saxophones for sale. And I was allowed to try that out. And I was relatively successful in the first moments because I knew what to do from my time when I played the flute, because what you have to do with your hands is really similar what you're doing on a flute when you do it on a saxophone. To play a melody, it's nearly the same things that you have to do with your hand. What you have to do with your mouth is totally different, but I had a really easy job to do that. But yeah, there's always a but in my sentence, because when we went home, we had a saxophone, but my father had bought that for my mother, and I think he thought my mother shall try that out before he wants to buy a saxophone for me, his daughter. So my mother had not so much luck with her teacher. She wanted to take some lessons, but this teacher was, I would say, the baddest teacher that is living on this earth, because he made a really fundamental mistake. He didn't explain the way, the technique that you have to learn if you want to get a sound out of your saxophone. So he hasn't explained the main thing of playing saxophone, to my mother. My mother was totally frustrated. She came home and she was like, I'm not able, it's not my instrument, I can't play it. So one day I thought, that can't be so hard. I mean, I was a child. I was 13 years old, I think. And I was like, yeah, you know, nobody has explained that to me. I could try that out. And then I took this saxophone from my mother and I tried it out. And my parents, I remember that like it was yesterday. They were in the living room while I was playing this instrument. And they were like, huh? What's going on here? Why is she able to play a melody on this instrument? How is that possible? And that was the day when I found out this technique by myself, that, my mother had her fun back playing this instrument as well. And then my father has decided to buy another saxophone for me as well. So we also had a little family band during that time. So my mother and me, we were playing the saxophone. My brother was playing the drums and my father was playing the keyboard or the guitar. And we had some parties and that stuff where we played the music. And yeah, it was like, you know, wrong music for the wrong age. Do you know what I mean? I have a really big connection to strange kinds of music. I mean, when I tell the people what music I like, they are like, huh? What are you talking about? And it's because of my childhood. There was no day without this music, and that's the reason why it's still in my life today. So, I was, with my saxophone, I was in 2 different orchestras. We had a really intensive time with, really, as I said, strange music. From today's view, it's a little bit strange for a child in that age, but it was a really strong time. Do you know what I mean? I mean, a really intensive time with lots of friendships as well, a lot of parties and that stuff. Not this laying in one corner with a bottle of beer. I don't know. I don't mean such kind of parties, but it was a really happy time for me. Then I was asked if I sing. I unfortunately have to say no. I mean, I sing sometimes when I'm in the shower or something like that, but I can't sing. My partner Gary took many hours to try to bring my voice out of my mouth. He was really, really patient. I'm really, really thankful for that. He played some really simple songs on his guitar to help me to be brave enough to sing. My problem always was that I thought I can't sing. It's something like my father has told me that I can't sing. I made some experiences that told me that, and Gary brought back that I can be able to believe in myself and that I can try it out, even if it's not nice, but I'm practicing it and I'm trying it, and I feel really free when I sing, even if it's not nice what you will hear or what you would hear. So there was also a question about the CD that I have shown you in the last video of this 365 Days Journal series. That is this CD that my partner Gary has thought about and recorded, and it's his music on this CD. And I have written some of the lyrics for this CD, and I also made the booklet. I have shown you that in my last video of this series, as I said. And some of you have asked me about this CD and if I'm singing on this CD. And yeah, you can imagine what my answer is when you've heard what I said before. I am not singing on this CD. I wish I could do that, but it's not possible. There's a professional singer who was in the studio where we have recorded this CD, and she is singing the choir of this songs that you can hear on the CD. And there were also many questions if it's possible to buy this CD somewhere. So I got so many messages from you. That was so wonderful. Thank you so much. And I also shall say a really big thank you from Gary. He said, that's so sweet of you. And I wanted to let you know that he's really, really happy that you are so interested in his music. It's a really personal CD. It's a really massive memory for him as well. He has put really much of himself into this CD, and we have also put much of our partnership feelings into this CD. I don't know how I can explain that in English, but it's a really personal thing, this CD, and that makes us, of course, really, really happy that you are so interested in this CD. So the answer, if you can buy that CD, is really easy, because I've put some of them into my Etsy shop. So if you are interested in having this CD, please check out the info box. There's a link where you can buy it, and then I can ship it to you, and you can hear this music from Gary and yeah, this thing with my lyrics at home if you want. On this CD, there's a song that's called Wannie wüsst. This is not, it's not able to translate that because it's Austrian dialect. But this song is about Gary's brother who passed away a few years ago. I unfortunately was not allowed to meet him, but he is such a strong man. I mean, he is just wonderful, and he played the saxophone in a very, very, very interesting and outstanding, really fancy way, I would say. And there was a question about this song, Wannie wüsst, and the question was if I am playing the saxophone in this song, and I have to say, unfortunately, I am not playing the saxophone. The idea behind this melody, I was allowed to play that with my saxophone for this demo CD, or this demo recording of this song, but the saxophone solo part on this CD comes from another man. He's a friend of Gary's brother and also a friend of Gary, and he's also this kind of, you know, strange and weird and really fancy saxophone player. I don't know how I can explain that, but we have searched for someone who can play the saxophone like Gary's brother Didi could play it. Of course, that's impossible because, yeah, if you could hear how this man has played the saxophone, you would understand that. But it's, of course, impossible to find someone who can play it exactly the same. But we have found a man, he is called Charlie, and Charlie is the man who has played the saxophone in this song. So there's a whole video about this song on my channel as well. I will link that down below for you so that you can watch that as well if you are interested in that. There you can hear the song on the one hand, and you can see a little creation that I have made as a music video for this song. That was a surprise for my partner Gary. He said to me, in that time when the video was recorded, he said to me if I can put the song to YouTube so that he can remember his brother, and that he can tell the world something about his brother. And he asked me to put this song to YouTube, but how to do that without a video. So he didn't expect any fancy video or something like that, but I've decided that I want to make a little surprise for him. So I made this little creative music video, and I also have a video where I tell you the story behind the song, behind this little artwork that I've created, and perhaps you want to watch that. It's also listed down below in the description box. Okay, and the last question that I want to answer today is why I don't like pink, this color pink. So I have told you something about this band, Die Schürzenjäger, and you have seen some pictures in the beginning of this video where I'm wearing some merchandising things from this band. And you have also seen the car of the band and this logo. And everything that has to do with this band is black and pink. So the brand colors of the band are black and pink. And perhaps you can imagine that, yeah, when you go to such a concert, you also want to wear a t-shirt from this band, for example, or a scarf or something like that. And then, of course, you buy that in the color that it has. I mean, black and pink. And for me, it was always like the other people, also in my school and in my, you know, in my friends and that stuff, they looked at me and said, Schürzenjäger, how can you hear this music? That's terrible. I was always, yeah, like in the corner alone with this music. And that was the same when I have wear this clothes and the t-shirts and that stuff. I was like this glowing little worm in between of some normal peoples. Do you know what I mean? Like I have a lamp on my head that's always like bling, 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 bling. Here is Louise with her pink t-shirt. And that's a really simple reason, but that's the reason why I don't like pink. I hate this color. Oh, excuse me. Even if I try to incorporate that to my crafty creations, but I have a hard time with pink. Yeah, that's the reason. Really simple. Okay, so I hope you liked this video. If yes, you can give me a thumbs up for it. You can leave a comment what you think about that. You can, of course, also still ask some questions. Please feel free to ask what you want, and I will try to answer that in my upcoming videos. There are some questions that require a little bit more time, so please be a little bit patient. I have some video ideas for the future, but for that I need some more time. So there are also hundreds of questions in the meantime. So please follow this series if you want to know more about me. And of course, I am hoping that we will see in my next video. I hope you like this. Have a very great day. Have a creative time. Stay healthy. And yeah, create something beautiful in your journal or wherever you want to create it. Have fun. Thank you very much for watching. See you the next time.